Right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another episode of Speak to Me, a dialogue with Black fathers. Today is July 16th. This is my anniversary. Happy anniversary to my wife, Tracy Ann. 17 years together. We are on location somewhere in the Caribbean. Should I say where we are? We are in Aruba. So we took a nice little vacay and we'll be returning today, but not before we get on live with with these two great gentlemen. So first we're gonna have Mr. Jahmar Bradby on. He is Black Souls on IG. Great father, is father of three, and he's gonna come on, nice enough to join us. We could talk about his journey, raising his son. His son is on the autism spectrum, one of his sons, and he's nice enough to come on and speak. And then at 11 a.m., we're gonna have Brother Jonathan Briggs. He of the Fatherhood at 40 blog, very nice blog. He, allowed me to use his platform last year to talk about my journey with autism. And Trey, so thankful for him. And our first guest is on. Brother Jahmar, just hit the request to join button and I could bring you in. And of course, this talk is brought to you by Speak to Me. That's the theme, we're talking about fatherhood. We're not just talking about, the challenges of being a father to a child on the spectrum. We're talking about fatherhood as a whole, breaking generational curses, just being there, present and active for our kids. And, just challenging and debunking the stereotype that Black men are not available for their kids. So without further ado, we're going to bring on my brother Jahmar. We're going to everyone that's joining, that's on right now. We appreciate you tuning in. Brother Jahmar, how are you, sir?
Peace, brother. I'm doing well. How are you?
Peace and blessings. I'm great. Thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Short notice, a little early.
No problem. Thanks for inviting me.
I appreciate you. No. It's my pleasure. Pleasure's all mine. I just thank you for coming on. As you know, we're talking about, the journey of being a Black father, and just breaking these stereotypes and, just, going through just being active and present in our kids' lives and, showing that we are there and we are available. So, speak to me about, your journey in fatherhood.
Well, I'm a father of three. I have two boys and a little girl that thinks she's my mother. But
yes, I believe.
But I was brought up in a single parent home. My father was around, but wasn't around. He was in and out. But coming into fatherhood was one of the blessings that I was able to experience. I love it. Like, they keep me on my toes.
Yes.
Some great young people to show me what it is to be a man in life.
Absolutely. So first off, where we representing? Where are you representing?
Oh, I'm from Brooklyn.
Yes.
I was born and raised in Bedford-Stuyvesant.
All right.
My wife pulled me out to Long Island.
Okay.
So
not bad.
Currently reside in Long Island.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. That's why I had to shout it out too. So.
Definitely.
But definitely. So you're father of three, as you said. So you said your father was in and out. Explain to me, what your relationship was like with your dad, and how that influenced how you parented your kids.
Okay, so early on, well, my parents were teenagers when they had me. So let me start off there. They were about 16, 17 when they had me. So I can just imagine some of the pitfalls that they probably had coming up trying to gel that situation. And I think he tried early on, but he started going through life and he started having more children, so he wasn't able to keep up with those responsibilities. But today, I think that we've kind of pushed past that. So I like he's present now, and
awesome.
that's the best thing now.
Well,
we've been able to, yeah.
Sure.
It was rough though, like not having a
right.
father
So
around.
explain growing up. Was not present during your teenage years or when you were preteen? Like how did that? How did
Nah,
that?
so when I think the pre-teenage years was when I started to kind of rebel. I was trying to like, get out there. I guess off the stoop is what they called it.
Right, right.
I tried to get off the stoops, and I got involved in some gang activity a little bit, but that was cut early. Um, you know, going through I was a victim of gun violence,
Wow.
so I think that kind of like stopped that situation early. But trying to get him involved in my life it was hard because he was going through his trauma and he was going through his experiences.
Sure.
Um,
So
and
when did you guys reunite? Like how was that like how did you reconcile
um,
that journey like?
I would like to say like he's always been around in a sense. He just wasn't present.
Right.
So I can pick up the phone, or I can kind of get in touch with him if I can call on or get in touch with him somehow, some way. But it wasn't until it took some time because my mother was like, you have to meet people where they are.
Mm-hmm.
I can't expect anything that's not there. So it wasn't until I'm 43 now. I think it wasn't until I was 40
Wow.
when I was able to kind of like forgive myself and forgive him
Right.
and to
Right.
kind of like embrace who he is and what
Right.
he is.
So
And it's been great since then.
wow. So would you say that the trauma of not having him present and knowing that he was out there but he wasn't present in your life, did you say that affected your relationships?
Oh,
How would you?
oh, I think it like 100%. There was a lot of things that I had to learn on my own through
Right.
trial and error.
Right.
I made a lot of mistakes as a man
Right.
coming up. I still
Right.
make them today, but I think that what he's taught me is um, you have to be prepared to apologize and move on and move forward and stand in
Right.
your truth. So I
Right.
think that I think that that's he's all that's what he's teaching me today. Stand in
Awesome.
your truth. So that's good.
That's great that you can reconcile and he's still teaching you at
Yeah,
43. That's amazing. I asked
yeah,
because I went through a similar situation. My dad left when I was 10 years old. I
right,
not prepared for it, didn't know where he was for a long
yeah,
time. We
yeah,
reconnected 15 years later, and
yeah,
it was just like in passing, high and by, but I never
yeah,
to ask the questions and I never got to, you know, get the clarity and get the
yeah.
closure because he passed away 10 years ago from
My
cancer.
apologies.
So
Yeah,
I dealt with that trauma and I brought it into my relationship. So that's why I
yeah,
asked, this is all about. Just talking about and healing from our past. So
yeah.
how would you say you were influenced when you became a father? How did you feel like I'm not gonna be like my dad? I'm gonna be a better dad than he was. What was your mindset when you?
I think his absence really taught me how to be present. I think that's one of the things that I really stand on. I never want my children to go through that pain of waiting at the window for daddy.
Right,
I never want them to go through, not being there to just have the conversation or have to have those talks that you need from a father in those pivotal moments.
awesome.
So I think that those things have taught me. But I've also had fathers from a distance. You learn how to adapt to your situation where it's like you see great men in your community, in your neighborhood, and
Right,
you kind of attach yourself to them. You monitor what's going on from their situation. So I've been fortunate and blessed enough to have like men, like great men that I've worked with that
right,
kind of took me under their wing
awesome.
and showed me how to be a man.
That's what we call social fathers.
Right, right, right. There you go. I like
Absolutely.
that.
They're not biological, but they're
Yeah,
there. Like as a coach or a teacher,
yeah,
the men. That's why men we don't know the impact we have. So
yeah,
that's why it's really important to be present and active.
yeah,
So you said you got into a little brushwood gang activity.
yeah.
Would you say you were looking for family in that sense at that time?
Um,
You saw
camar camaraderie.
camaraderie, right?
Yeah, because I had family. Like there were a lot of people. Bedford-Stuyvesant back then was
Yeah,
it was a village.
rough. Yeah,
So I had like there were people always around to show you love,
right,
but I still needed that interaction, the camaraderie of men or males in my circle to kind of show me how to throw hands or
right.
have that aggression or know how
Sure.
to respond in certain situations. So I got that from certain friends at that particular time.
True, and it is well needed. You know, the survival instinct. You're in that community. You have to be able to survive. Just in life in general, it doesn't matter where
Yeah,
you are. You have to have certain fundamental skills that you can
yeah,
impart. So, you said, let's see, your son Jayden.
yeah.
He is on the spectrum.
Yeah,
Autism?
so early on he was diagnosed with PPD-NOS, which is pervasive um development disorder.
Sort of, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Trey.
not otherwise specified.
Hmm.
So I think they changed the diagnosis or the
Yeah,
name of it
yes, yes,
to,
yes.
autism spectrum disorder. But
Yes, yes, same thing,
yeah,
same thing with Trey. So,
yeah,
when did you know? Like, did you see signs, or how did you know? And
yeah.
when you found out, how did you feel at
I
that point?
think I think early on we found out. I think around two. There was something that he like, my wife and I was talking about. He, in order to get to an object, he wouldn't crawl in a straight line.
Mm,
He would crawl in a circle until he got to that particular item.
wow.
And so it kind of raised our ears, our antennas to something. So he's like, oh, something's going on here. But then I spoke to Jada's mom, and she also spoke about, there's something there. We want to get him tested. So
Mm,
around 2 or 3, so around I think late when he was 2,
mhm.
we started getting them checked out for certain things. For him, we thought early on that he was deaf. So
Oh, you said
we,
deaf?
yeah, we thought he was
Okay.
deaf.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So when that came back as a negative, they started running some other testing. I think he was diagnosed around 3 or 4 with PDD and OS.
Wow.
So we
Yeah.
found out that was the situation then. Yeah.
How did it make you feel as a dad, knowing that's your firstborn? We
Yeah.
look at the firstborn son as the person that will carry on our legacy and pass it.
Yeah.
So how did you feel in that moment?
I wanted to be positive, but honestly, it did hit me. Like it hit me and it hurt me. It drained me at first. Now, I cried a lot. I kind of pushed through it. But as this gentleman got older, man, yourself. Like
Yes,
they
absolutely.
started, like he just made my heart flutter, and like all that went away. Like he's such an amazing individual today, man, and he makes me better.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So speak to that. How does it make you better? Like,
Just watching him, like he's such a champion of his brothers and sisters. Like if I'm doing something for him, he's like, well, what about Jahi? What about Naima? Like,
wow,
he's protective. He's playful. He has his moments when he like, he shows me so much love, like picking him up from the airport and watching that smile and he running to see me and
nice.
grabbing me and giving me a hug. Like that's always a great feeling.
Absolutely, nothing like it. Same with Trey, man. And it's just great to see the smile. They're always smiling. He's always smiling, and it's like, going through these challenges. I can't possibly imagine what he was dealing with at the time.
Yeah,
He was nonverbal for a lot of years, and I was basically, devastated. I didn't want to see it, first of all. My
yeah,
wife, she had her inklings that there was something wrong, but, I just thought he was quiet because I was a quiet
mm,
child. So I pretty much didn't know what to look for. I didn't know about autism at the time.
right,
So it was like devastating when he got diagnosed PDD, NOS, same thing. My wife,
yeah,
no, it's something more than that. It's something more. So once you put those personal feelings aside, and it took me a long time to do it, but
yeah,
I was able to, get on board with her and just get him the services he needed. But it was around that time, 2 years old, he was having ear aches, a lot of ear infections.
hmm
And yeah, he stopped babbling.
hmm
So it was really devastating. But
And I think also, sorry to interrupt you, brother,
no, no, no worries.
but also I think when the kids used to watch certain shows, he used to
Mhm.
always cover his ears and kind of peek at
Dang.
it.
Wow.
So that was something that was also a red flag for us.
Wow, same thing. Yeah, he
Um,
used to any noises like when the TV would change the channel and it goes to the right screens, he'd run out
yeah,
the room. You know,
yeah,
all these signs. He'd repeat phrases from the TV shows that he'd watched.
yes,
The echolalia. I learned these terms later on, but
yeah,
yeah, it was a lot of signs. But I was, like I said, I didn't know what it was, so I didn't
yeah,
I didn't want to know. And I
mm,
pretty much stunted his development because he didn't get diagnosed officially until 7. So
Right.
we missed the early intervention window. So
Right.
this is why, now we champion the efforts of early intervention and getting
Right.
to the rule out testing. So I
Right.
wanted to talk about his siblings. You say he has two younger siblings. He's
Yes.
protective of them. How did they feel about it, or how did they interact with him? Did they know that it was a difference in him?
I think we so his brother, we waited a little bit to kind of like really have the conversation with him about it, but they've all embraced him. Like they all love him. They don't treat him like any differently. They treat him, we all stay equal here. So, you
Right.
know, anytime we do something for them, and like even when, because he lives in Houston, so anytime we do something for them, we have to do something for him. So
Awesome.
they make sure that everything is inclusive.
That's awesome.
And I think what also helped for me, I'm sorry to
No, no,
backtrack.
no, good.
What also helped for me was I grew up in a home where I had a cousin that was autistic.
Okay.
Like in the 80s and the 90s, but
Talked
we
about
never
it.
said that. We never spoke about that. We never labeled it.
Right.
This was just our cousin, and we treated him with the same love that everybody else treated him with. So I think after that initial shock of like, man, this is my kid, it was like, wait a minute, this
He's
guy, like he's just like my cousin. My cousin, I don't want to name his name, but he's just like my cousin, and
I think it's
everything, yeah, everything
not
is better that way. Yeah,
and it's important to show that they're just as great, just as amazing as kids that are not on the spectrum. They just
yes,
so differently. And that's what we want to get past, that stigma that's attached to special needs kids and
yes,
autism. Everything is very important, and you're doing a great job with that.
yeah.
Tell the people what you want them to know about Jayden. Like,
Jayden is a great individual. He loves hip hop. He loves old school hip hop. He loves music.
wow,
He's into video games. And he's such an emotional guy. He doesn't like recently. He just like, you know, he gets to me. We have our sit downs and we have our one to ones. He's able to make me better that way because now I can see how God has given eyes to view the world through a different lens that opens it up for everybody else.
amen.
And that's an amazing thing for me.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like you learn empathy,
Yeah,
you learn understanding, you're not quick to judge,
yeah,
and that's what the message we want to get out. There may be times when they have their stemming and their little idiosyncrasies, but
hmm
we don't want them to be looked at any differently.
hmm
I know for me, when I see a child in the supermarket or something going, I'm not quick to like, oh, that's a bad kid. It's like,
no,
you need help. Is everything all right?
yeah,
Think you gain that. Once you go through it, you gain that,
yeah. If
important for
any,
right, go ahead.
if anything, it helps you to look at the details in life
Yes.
because there are things that we overlook
Right.
that they pick up on, that he picks up on, that
Sure.
allows me to take a closer look at life. So that's the amazing piece.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Uh,
Great. So you say he's in Houston now. We're gonna
yeah.
Houston the end of the month, right? How, how does he deal with being in a different away from you? Like,
We do it the best we can. Like, we do text messaging, we do video calls, we speak on the phone. And it's hard. Like he likes being in New York, but he also he loves the sunny state of Texas.
warm weather.
Yeah, I know. So jealous, right?
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. So yeah, I didn't get to get into your background. Like, what do you do and for a living? Let the people know. What do you? Because I see
So
a lot of black power, black pride on your social media. So
yeah, you have to
I
you have to
wanna.
blame you have to blame that on my mother. She instilled that within me. Well, my mother, and my grandmother, they instilled that within me. But I'm a teacher as a profession. So I teach high school, special education teacher.
Oh,
I do algebra and history.
okay.
Um, but yeah, hey, one second, buddy.
So
So yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
so I've been doing that. I've been teaching for the past 5 years. So it's been a great experience. So when you mentioned the satellite father thing, like that or the community father thing, like
Yes.
that's my role, so to speak, where
Mm,
I teach at the place that I was brought up in.
nice.
So it's always great to be in my community and to see the young folks. And I teach at the high school that I went to. So
Wow. What was that? Boys
So
and
it's
girls,
good,
right?
boys and girls, yeah. So it's always a blessing to kind of go back there and to see how to look at life through the eyes of young people that went through that same path. So it's always good.
That's awesome. So, do you think you went into the special education field because of your experience with your son? Do you feel like you needed to share that?
Yeah. So I thought that, well, yeah, getting into education, specifically special education, helps me get a grasp of like also, of what he's going through, and it helps me to become a better parent, and
Yes.
it helps me to become a better teacher. So I think that like getting into this profession was great. It's a great experience. So
And do you see like kids that are like Jayden in your classrooms?
yeah,
Like,
well, not in my particular classroom because I do ICT, which is integrated co-teaching. So I have general ed and special education within the classroom.
okay,
Every now and again, there will be a student along the spectrum that I have to deal with, and it's also a great experience.
great, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Your service, man. That
no
being a
problem.
teacher is definitely, you're sharing your wisdom with the community. It's always a great thing.
Yeah.
Any final words that you want to share with the people?
Well, shout out to all the brothers out there who are going through our experience. Fathers are definitely um, needed, and we need to definitely have a presence within our community. And I hope everybody just have a great day, man. Thank you for inviting me on this live.
No, I
This is
thank
this
you
is
for
dope.
coming on. I thank you. We switched up a little bit at the last minute, and you were
It's fine.
great enough. I appreciate you, and I know you're a busy man, so I just thankful for sharing your insight, man. You definitely raised awareness today,
All
and
right.
I learned certain things that I didn't know at first. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh man, blessings, bro. Appreciate
Bless
it.
you and the family as well.
All right, same to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, peace, brother.
Peace, peace. All right, that's my brother Jahmar Bradby. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, speak to me. It's a great live, great interview. As a brother representing Brooklyn, living in Long Island now. I'm just thankful. Peace to his son Jayden, his other kids Jaheem and Naeem. Naeem is a great friend of our daughter Asia as well. So definitely, definitely great insight there. And you heard it from the brother himself. It's very important for dads to be present and available. You see how it affected him not having his dad around, and just the way they can bounce back from that and just be a light in this community, to give back to this community as a teacher is great. So that was Brother Jahmar. You can find him on social media, Black Souls, BLAQSOLZ. Um, we're gonna have Brother Jonathan Briggs on in another half an hour. So come back on at 11 a.m. We're gonna have him on live. This is Speak to Me. Speak to Me, a black father's journey raising a son on the autism spectrum. It's not easy. It's not easy. It takes a lot of, a lot of patience, so it's great. It's rewarding though. The rewards are great. And like I said, we're live. I'm on site here in Aruba. My wife celebrating our anniversary, so just thankful for these brothers. We had to switch up the time a little bit. Just thankful that they're able to come on and bless us with their presence. So we'll be back on in another half an hour or so. So please join me then. Appreciate you. Miss Aisha. So thanks for this. This is necessary. Happy anniversary. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to you. It's allowing allowing us to share your story as well. Appreciate you. All right. See you in a few, guys.